You know the stereotype around the Femis and the Tundes, right? And maybe the Chinedus, right? Right? Basically the kind of guy that is a player, the guy that doesn't really care for your feelings, but he tends to attract a lot of women, but is also eventually you will regret getting with him. Okay? That's Omoita. Aka Pookie, or you mean Paki? What's Pookie? Pookie. Okay, aka Pookie Omoita. Tout, like a not tout. Okay, they use Pookie more so these days on the internet. They use to reference men that attract that they're high on social on their social abilities, but very low in everything else. Okay, so they don't really care, but they know how to make you feel good being around them. That's just one aspect of it. But Pookie and Ray Ray is more like the lowest of the lowest quality of men in the society, in the community, and basically most women will attract that. That's what they claim. Like a lot of women attract the Pookies, and then come and complain later that the Pookies does not care. Well, it was a Pookie in the first place. He might know how to wear Gucci belt, dress up and down in Fendi, but that's what attracted you. You know, I probably did a terrible job explaining this, but I know what they mean when they say Pookie and Ray Ray. It's basically the lowest quality of man, not necessarily lower value. Okay, a lot of women are attracted to the lowest of quality of men. Okay, I think I found it. Lowest quality of men, but highest value in terms of market value, because most women attract them. Okay, could Pookie be Fawaraja? Yeah, they're on the surface, they look good, and yeah, like it's all, you're gonna like it. They're business people, they bring the flowers and all of that, but when you get into the situation, you might find that you've ended up with the lowest quality of men in the society. That's what I've seen it used as, but I don't know the source of the word, okay, because I wasn't raised here. Yeah, Yoruba demon. Yeah, more like Yoruba demon. Okay. Yes, more like Yoruba demon, right? The Pookies have nothing tangible to offer. You explained it well. I did. Oh, I hope so. I hope so. But I know Pookie and Ray Ray is more like the American thing over here. So, but I know what they use it as. I just didn't want to end up in a situation where they said that's not what it means. I don't know what it means. I know what you use it for. Okay. All right. They like the swag, but when you look closer, the uncle is essentially empty. Yes, precisely. That's what Pookie Ray Ray is. Okay, it's often used maybe in the same way you would use Yoruba demons, or way Antibi and the Obodo family will use maybe younger versions of what's the phrase that you guys use all the time? Mongo Park. Maybe something like that, you know. But Mongo Park can obviously transcends beyond just dating, right? All right, so that's that. So let's get into this. Just a quick highlight of what happened in October. This news was published October 25, 2022. It says Roswell, shout out on Fox 5. This was on Fox 5. Roswell police make double arrest in $1 million fraud scheme. Roswell police have arrested 2 people in connection to $1 million business scheme. Investigators said, they say 57-year-old Ernest Williams and 46-year-old Erica King convinced people to pay them for their business expertise. They would align themselves with the victims. Okay, so we saw this earlier. Police said William and King acted the part and people paid good money for their services. However, investigators say they never provided the services. I'm trying to see if there's more here. Roswell detectives first began looking into, okay, we saw that earlier. Okay, so we're going to follow the news. Let's just get into the lessons for today. I have questions. Okay, I've got question. Okay, and yeah, these are my questions. When it comes to vetting, okay, when it comes to vetting potential partners, is there a specific age at which you believe people become wise enough? Why or why not? Okay. Is there wise? The key word is enough, not overall. wisest, not we finish wise, not we finish wise from wise banks. Okay, it's wise. The key word is enough, enough to be able to vet for a potential partner, right? Now I would add on to this question and say, hey, is there an age that you get to that the ability to vet start to deteriorate? Because I remember what Film Girl said in the beginning. Let me see if we can pull up from the beginning. She said older women get vulnerable. She said older women get vulnerable because of loneliness. So the older you get, so do you get? Is this like some kind of bell curve? Is there a bell curve involved in this? In the answer to this question, do you know what a bell curve is? Let me see if we can find a good bell curve to show us here. Right? Is there some kind of bell curve involved in this? Let's see here. Right? Where you get to a certain age, but then this same thing we're talking about is it becomes less and less. You don't have the capabilities, the ability to be able to vet reduces with time. It starts to reduce. Or it's just absolutely, it just continue to increase. Check this this is bell curve right here. Can you see it, bell curve? This is a bell curve. Is this more like a bell curve? It increases. So let's say at 15 you start paying attention, and then you get to, where does it peak? That's the question we have here. That will be the question today. Where is it? Where does it peak out? I think that will add some more context to that question. It's a common type of distribution for a variable. The variable here being your ability to be able to vet, also known as the normal distribution. I'm asking, what are your thoughts around this? You get to an age and it peaks out, and either for multiple different other variables, maybe fear, maybe being out of the game, you don't know what's out there, you don't know how vulnerable you get in this new marketplace that you're not familiar with because you haven't been in dating scene, right? These are the questions I'm asking. Give me your opinions in the chat. Let me see your opinions. Now, what are your thoughts around this, right? Is there a specific age or age peak, right? I have more questions. Film Girl said it's easier for outsiders to vet your partner better than you. They see what you can't see objectively. That's such a fantastic point. Okay, I would go on even to add this to it. If you're a woman, right, because of our social construct, see, I admitted it's the social construct, but it's reality, okay? You probably shouldn't be doing the vetting yourself. But, a Shirley Strawberry will claim that, hey, but Steve, maybe this is where I will agree with Pink Book Lessons. Maybe Steve should not be vetting for anybody because, hey, would you die before her? Would you do that? There needs to be more. But that was just a radio show. We don't know what they did behind the scenes, right? Maybe it needs to go a little deeper than that, right? But I agree 100% that you probably should have, especially if you're a woman, you should have other people vetting for you. If you're a man, you need to be sure of yourself, okay? You shouldn't be asking people permission if you should date a person. I think that works against our social construct. Because it will reflect, if you're not confident about the person you're trying to get with as a man, it will reflect on your behavior. You will end up collecting woto. You need to be sure of yourself. That's part of what makes you a man. But if you're a woman, okay, you're probably better off having other men, preferably, do part of the vetting for you, okay? Because they can see and they can pay attention to some things you're not capable of, right? Now, again, back to the bell curve. Is there an age especially where it starts to deteriorate? The reason for this question is that we have a lot and more people say it can happen anytime. You're right, it can happen anytime. But in what way? It happened anytime for Shirley Strawberry. But this is bad story. You would agree that this is a terrible story. It's an extreme story. But come on. We should still talk about it, right? Just something to bring to our attention. Do you like how that blue is matching my shirt? Right? Just something to bring to our attention. Okay, we do have some additional questions here. The question that the second question that I have here, okay, to just help us, to stimulate, to help us come up with some more insights around this topic. This topic is really more about age, maturity, wisdom in particular, right? That's what this is about. So the second question that I have here is this: what factors do you think contribute to someone's ability to vet people properly for a quality romantic relationship and marriage? What factors? Is it solely based on age, or are there other important aspects to consider? Question. That's a question for you. What are the factors that you might think that helps you with your ability to vet? Okay. I said earlier there's discernment and there's vetting. To me, when I think of vetting, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. When I think of vetting, I'm looking at a checklist. Check, right? When I'm thinking about discernment, it's more like a part of your spirit just disagrees with something, right? Like, just disagrees with it, right? And you can't really put your finger on it, but something about you disagrees with the idea of being with this person, right? And every time you try, you just know that it doesn't feel right. Everyone around you might even be telling you, like, he's a good guy, she's a good woman, don't lose out. But something about your spirit just said, no, it's off, it's wrong, because you're the one experiencing it from a romantic standpoint, and something about you keeps telling you that yeah, maybe I should chill. Maybe I should relax. Maybe I should observe a little bit longer. In the middle of you observing, you cheated with somebody else. And somebody's like, you cheated, and you're like, yeah, I guess you could call it cheating, but something was disagreeing in my spirit all along. Somebody's stuck on the morals and value of it, and you're like, listen, I need to cover myself here, right? Not to say it's emotional intelligence. Yes, I think that's a base. That's a baseline, especially an ever-growing emotional intelligence. Yeah, basically, I think that's going to be the base minimum of where you need to be at. I kind of mentioned a discernment, right? But what does that even mean? What does it mean to be able to discern, right? Because honestly, I'm not sure if I've ever looked up the dictionary meaning of it, right? I think it says the ability to judge well. Yeah, like literally outright judgmental, but it's internal. You're like, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm looking at a source here. It says, in Christian context, perception in the absence of judgment. Perception, I like this one better. Perception in the absence of judgment with a view to obtain spiritual guidance and understanding. I kind of like that, But yeah, let's look at this one. Here's another question for you to think about. In Shirley Strawberry's case, do you think it was possible for her to detect the potential issues with Ernest Williams when she was 50, right? When she was 50 something, when she got married at the age of 49, 50, 48, whatever that was. No, at the age of 50, when she was 50. No, she was actually 60 when they got married. Okay? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on trusting someone who has a criminal history? Oh, we're getting down to it now. Somebody has a criminal history, right? And they seem to be a good guy right now. They dressed up, they cleaned up, beautiful man, right? And you're like, right? At the age of 50, if we bring up the bell curve again, because again, where is the peak? Where is the peak here for this bell curve? Is that 35, 40. The same thing is applicable for men. Everything I'm saying today is applicable for men. When you get to a certain age, your ability to vet properly and discern will decline. Like everything else in life, it's a double-edged sword. Always, I just give you the answer. It's a double-edged sword. Don't let anybody tell you the absolute. The older you get, the wiser you get. Not necessarily true. It gets worse for some people. It's a very subjective thing, depending on what else is going on in their life. Okay? Depending on their proximity to self-improvement, self-development, remaining a student for life. Right? And it gets worse for them, especially the more they don't think there's anything to learn. It gets worse. Remember pride? Pride is a bastard, a double-edged bastard, right? And pride doesn't just come and fall out of the sky. It's because you know something. In fact, you are an extremely intelligent person already. People respect you for one reason or the other. That's where pride comes from. Pride doesn't just come from inside. It's because society is responding to you positively in certain respects. So you're like, it's me now. I remember I have accolades, right? It's just me. Like I'm good at this stuff, right? So the more you feel that way, there's a massive blind spot that's been built behind you, and if you're not careful, it might work against you. All right, it might work against you.